The textile industry is deeply woven in the Triad's history and economy, but has been unraveling for decades. WFMY News 2's Manning Franks has more on its rise and fall.
So how does the Piedmont-Triad go from a booming textile economy to just this past week losing 145 jobs in the same industry with more layoffs potentially on the way? The answer? The global march towards modernity. The roaring sound of industry, now gone silent. The last salvaged denim mill in the United States, the Cone Mill's White Oak Mill, closed back in 2017.
Some of these plants are still doing big business, but at the same time, Revolution's closing in the early 1980s because globalization is affecting how business is going.
Glenn Perkins with the Greensboro History Museum has seen the arc of the state's history, especially here in the Triad.
Piedmont, North Carolina became an industrial hub for obviously furniture, for textiles, for tobacco. Textile manufacturing in the north had a lot of union organizing, so it cost more to work up there, whereas in the south, the labor movement was not as strong, so workers didn't have those protections, but businesses could manufacture things and make them a lot cheaper.
As textile giants like the Cone brothers came along in the late 1800s, with the Industrial Revolution, business was booming. Yet just like any industry over time, a rise would eventually be met with a fall.
Around 1990 is when textile manufacturing really shrinks, not just in Greensboro, but in the whole state.
The North Carolina Department of Commerce shows that between 1993 and 2022, employment in the textile industry dropped a staggering 85%, the result of a multitude of factors.
A lot of it had to do with globalization of the economy, just ways that products could move around the world a lot easier. The fact that American companies could tap into foreign labor forces, the availability of imports.
Now with Unifi closing their Madison plant and Richloom Weaving closing their High Point facility, local textile continues to suffer blow after blow. Yet that mark of the industry still remains alive in the Triad.
That textile infrastructure, is still all around us, and a lot of those big buildings like Revolution Mill are being repurposed for things like apartments, but also startups. So new businesses can kind of use those spaces to rethink how they're doing in the 21st century.
Obviously, it's already been a difficult year for the textile industry here in the Triad. If you add it all up, there are 420 textile jobs on the chopping block, and it's only the beginning of February.